Faded Glory. Chapter 19. The Mist of Control. Location: West Georgia, United American Provinces. Year 2037. Commander Carlos stood atop the red clay bluff overlooking what used to be I-20. Now it was little more than a scar across the land. Chunks of shattered concrete, rusted-out vehicles, and overgrowth reclaiming what the state had abandoned. The once thriving corridor between Atlanta and Birmingham was now in no man's land. But something in the air tonight chilled him more than the wind ever could. Below, Raven crouched next to a young man with a handkerchief over his mouth. His eyes were bloodshot. He trembled. "They hit the school yesterday," the boy whispered. "A drone came down low. Just fogged us." Carlos scowled. "Aerosol delivery confirmed." Bowman, his rifle slung and his jaw clenched, growled. "We warned people. They said it was just a conspiracy, that no one would ever vaccinate folks without permission." Carlos knelt. "What symptoms?" The boy looked up. "Sleep paralysis, headaches, and my sister. She can't remember our names anymore. She says there's a voice in her dreams telling her to submit." Carlos rose slowly, looking to the eastern horizon where black military blimps drifted in silence. The Global Health Authority's new delivery systems, once called benevolent, were now operating without oversight, law, or conscience. Flashback, 2 years earlier, United Nations, Geneva. A tall man in a gray suit adjusted his tie and stepped up to the podium. His voice echoed through the chamber. "To protect the collective, we must embrace proactive immunization. Pathogens are not waiting for permission, neither should we." Dr. Emil Gruber, Chief Bioethics Officer of the World Immunoaerosol Initiative, received a standing ovation from most of the room. In the shadows, U.S. Ambassador Wexler leaned over to her assistant. "They want to spray entire cities without consent. This isn't medicine. This is control." Back in Georgia, Raven whispered, "They're testing the tech in rural areas, places where the press can't follow, towns like Salem, Alabama, gone quiet, no radio, no movement." Carlos felt the knot in his stomach tighten. This wasn't just about vaccines anymore. It was about sovereignty, over mind, body, and breath. "We move at dawn," he said. "We shut down the tower at Ridgepoint. That's where they're launching the drones. But that's a federal site now," Bowman warned. Carlos smirked. "We're not asking permission anymore." Elsewhere, the Citadel, Denver Autonomous Region. The architect stood before a panoramic screen showing heat signatures across the southeast. Beside him, a younger man, sleek in his globalist blue uniform, smirked. They resist, still clinging to their outdated sense of autonomy. The architect replied coolly, "Let them. Resistance reveals the nodes of defiance, and once exposed, we isolate and cleanse." He turned to the screen, enlarging an image of Carlos and his crew. "They will kneel," he said, "even if we must teach the air itself to whisper obedience." Later that night, Rebel Safe House. Carlos looked over old maps, radio schematics, and intercepted reports. These chemicals, they aren't just about immunity. They're neurological, designed to suppress aggression, to pacify. Raven added, DARPA called it Project Respite, a calming agent for civil unrest. Now the World Health Authority has it. Bowman slammed his fist into the table. "It's not just tyranny. It's pharmacological warfare." Carlos nodded solemnly. "Then we fight fire with fire. We'll disable their launch hubs, take their drones, and broadcast the truth." Closing scene, an underground transmission. The screen flickered across abandoned homes and makeshift settlements. Carlos's voice echoed through emergency radio channels. "To the free people of what once was America, do not trust the fog, do not believe the lies. They come with mist and mercy on their lips, but tyranny in their breath. It is not about health. It is about control, and control is slavery. We were born free. Let us live or die free. To be continued."